Hello, everyone. This is Bria Tillman, your favorite life coach. I'm coming in today to talk about a very interesting subject, which I think is quite important. And the topic today is boundaries. So, today I just want to speak to you all about the importance of boundaries. And I'm learning as I interact with new people and as I'm getting new friends or kind of just expanding um, and building new relationships. One thing that I notice as a strength of mine is my ability to set boundaries. Now, when I think about it, this is not a skill I've always had. This is a skill that I had to sort of create as I um, grew up in life and, had certain friends or had people around where I kind of just had to you know, draw a line or a perimeter around things that I was going to accept and that I was not going to accept. And so I think it's very important that everyone has boundaries to an extent, to make sure that we draw the line on what we're going to accept and what we're not going to accept, what we're going to allow and what we won't allow and not necessarily use boundaries as as like a wall, protective wall, or defense mechanism, but boundaries to make sure that we we keep a safe, safeguard. You know what I mean? So not to use boundaries as a fence of insecurity, but use boundaries as a form of security. So, one example why you should have boundaries is because people will go as far as you let them. There needs to be a stopping point for everybody, especially, I'll just speak to single women first because I am a single woman. So, when it comes to men and those who, trying to shoot their shot, it has to be a boundary. Like, you can't just walk up to me and think you're going to get in my life. No, it don't work like that, right? Even when it comes to like social media and the DMs, a lot of men think, okay, well, I DM'd her, like, I'm in there. Like, no, you're not, bruh. You in there talking to yourself, bruh. Like, and that's no disrespect because the boundaries do work sometimes, or the DMs. I'm sorry, that's what I meant to say. And it does work sometimes, but just because you can DM me does not mean you have access to me. All right. So that's one form of creating a boundary. Just because they inbox you don't mean you got to reply, sis. You don't have to give him no access to you, right? In person, if you meet a guy, set them boundaries. Okay. Just because you say hello and I'll say hello back. That don't mean you can just, dive into everything of me. Like, no, I'm going to put up them walls. Now, that's a part where you can't put up them walls, right? Like, why you want to know that? You know what I'm saying? Why you want to know my name? Why do you want to know, if he's an honest, genuine man, then of course you can let some walls down. But in the first conversation, no. You know what I mean? You don't let everything spill. You don't give him the entirety of you, right? We need to set boundaries when it comes to friends or new friends or associates. A lot of people, they might take interest in you or they want to be your friend. And you kind of got to think, well, why exactly do you want to be my friend? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when it comes to new friendships, there should be levels. There should be process. There should be time. It shouldn't just be like, you coming over my house. You get my phone number. You in my presence. Like, no. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to those relationships, those must be tested and tried. You just can't let everybody, get access to you. And that's a problem to me. That's what I kind of see, out of my peripheral when I see other people, like they don't have no boundaries. You know what I mean? You need to have boundaries when it comes to your time. Man, that's a big one. I was out of town recently, and some folks who were in the area was like, hey, let's hang out, and they knew me from where I was originally from, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but I don't really have time for that. Like, some people will put a demand on your time. They want you to do this and they want you to do that for them, and it's like, no, sis, this my time. Like, first off, I gotta do what God told me to do first. If He ain't tell me to do that, I ain't doing it. You're not finna take my time. You're not finna take my energy. And you just never know. Like, people don't have the correct intentions. They want to put so much on you. And it's like, nah, who said I wanted that? I don't want that. So that's a boundary. Keep that over there. All right. So we talked about boundaries, with the opposite sex. We talked about boundaries with friends. And we talked about boundaries over your time. And we also need to talk about boundaries with your family. Family will put so much and demand so much out of you. They'll guilt trip you into making sure things get done. And of course, you should help your family, right? Because that's your family, that's your blood, that's who raised you and things like that. So it shouldn't be so many walls, but you need to know when too much is too much, right? Where they kind of overstepping. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, back on up, hold on. This what we not gonna do, right? And the best word you can use when you are setting boundaries is just the word no. No. No, you're not finna call me at this time. No, I'm not finna send you no money. No, you can't have my number. No, I'm not finna go out with y'all. No, I can't do that. And if you're doing it from a place of self-respect and self-boundaries, you're not going to feel bad when you say no. You're saying no so that maybe later you could say yes. You know what I mean? But right now, it's a no. And if they respect your no, that's how you know they respect you. But if you constantly are a yes person, allowing everybody to just pull on you, you are going to be depleted. And so it's very important that you set boundaries. Therefore, you can discern people's motives and people's intentions out of you. But if you don't have boundaries, people are just going to use you like a washcloth. You're just going to get ringed around and dirty and depleted and stretched out and worn. But when you have boundaries, you're setting perimeters. You're setting standards. And so it's important that you love and value you so that others won't cross you. All right. I love y'all. Bye-bye.